Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Vital Update. We've got two guests today, but guest number one is Sarah Watson, who is our
Hi, guys.
marketing and administrative assistant here at Vital. And Sean is actually on the road traveling today, so he's not able to be with us. But man, we're excited. It's going to be fun. We've got another special guest today who's going to be coming on with us to talk about Downtown Lafayette specifically. So we're going to bring Anita on. And Anita, welcome. You are the CEO of Downtown Lafayette Unlimited and Downtown Development Authority. Is that correct?
That's right.
All right. Well, fantastic. That's actually, we are brand new members, Vital Integrated,
Yes.
brand new members of the Downtown Lafayette Unlimited. So why don't you give us a little rundown of what that is and, what benefits do we get from that?
Sure. Let's start with DLU, Downtown Lafayette Unlimited. It's a nonprofit organization. It's a 501c6, and the mission is to preserve, restore, and expand downtown Lafayette, Louisiana as a business and cultural center. So what that means in layman's terms is we are a membership-based organization who works with business owners and people who work for businesses like Vital, not only in downtown Lafayette, but across Lafayette and Acadiana, who are just interested in and invested in downtown success. We've got about 220 members. Since I started a little, pretty close to 3 years ago, we've doubled our membership, and we've really focused on getting people who are not necessarily even located downtown, but care about it to feel like they can be a part of our mission. So we do a lot of different things. We host events for our members, like our Lunch and Learn series and our Coffee Talk series. But we also produce events that people are very familiar with, like Downtown Alive. Since
Really?
I started,
That's interesting. Downtown Alive,
Yeah.
man, that's been a staple for Lafayette for as long as I can remember.
It's almost 40 years old, Paul. So it's been around for a minute.
That's 38.
That's right.
If you weren't trying to tell your age, you just exposed you.
You just average. Sorry.
But actually, what's interesting about Downtown Alive, and even with how I know you, is all through the music industry, and your husband plays in some bands, and I do some production work. And actually, I used to do sound with a few different places, a few different companies, doing Downtown Live.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting to see kind of where all that goes, and what was interesting to watch last year, which I thought was very, obviously 2020 has been a pivot point for pretty much every business out there. But to see some of those bands kind of do Downtown Alive in a virtual way, kind of talk to me a little bit about that. How were y'all able to, how successful was that? How was it received in the community?
So we are like pivoting on our pivots at this point. But if we go back to 2020, the week that we were supposed to launch our 2020 spring season with Lane Mack and the Balladeers was the week of the COVID shutdown. And so we had about 4 days to figure out what we were going to do. And, our perspective was people love Downtown Alive so much. It's such an important part of our culture and who we are, and something that people look forward to. And so we felt compelled to provide it virtually. This was a point where everybody was really confused and concerned. As we moved through that virtual season, there was actually a stay-at-home order. So people really didn't have a choice but to be at home. And on Friday nights, it was something that was a bit of a sense of normalcy for people, and reminded them of what we love about Lafayette and gave people a chance to come together virtually to celebrate. It was very successful. When we did it, I mentioned that most of that season was during a stay-at-home order. So you had folks like Corey Leday out in his house in the middle of nowhere, recording his one-man band. You had Horace Trahan in the Osan Playboys recording under his carport. Lane Mack did his own thing from home, and his brother was a guest star. So it was the best we could make of the situation.
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, so obviously we're a technology company, and it's interesting it has been interesting to watch that from the outside perspective of seeing how different organizations and different companies kind of began to embrace technology in a way that was never really thought of before.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, we're not going to do this anymore. We can't do that this year. Finding a way to actually interact and engage with those people. And really, because of that, you still haven't had that gap in Downtown Live. It's been pretty cool to see that.
Yeah.
And having some of the interaction online, it's almost where the bands and stuff could actually connect and even reach out to their fans in a personal way. So it is, like you said, making the best of that situation.
One of the things that was really cool about us doing that was that people from all over the world could technically come to Downtown Live. And so we saw comments from people. I remember one that stands out in my mind in particular, a lady who's originally from the Lafayette area, and she lives in Hawaii now. And she said, I never thought I'd be able to attend Downtown Live again. And here I am watching it from my house in Hawaii, which was cool. And we got stories about that, all over. We had Brother Deej as well last year, and he's got a fan base that's really strong in Europe. And so his fans were excited that even though he couldn't be touring and out where they are, that they could still watch Brother Deej perform. So it was really heartwarming.
Well, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but is that something y'all are looking at possibly continuing, is doing that online?
We're having discussions behind the scenes right now. Paul and Sarah haven't made any firm decisions yet, but, we're watching what's happening around us. I don't know if everyone's had a chance to see it yet, but Festival Acadian at Creole just came out with their announcement that they're shifting to March. So we are talking to our board, we're talking to health experts, and we're kind of trying to figure out where we put our focus for the remainder of this year, because we're not in the same boat as we were last year in that, there's not a stay-at-home order. So we still do want to encourage people to support downtown businesses as they feel comfortable. And we can talk more about that because I know y'all want to hear about some of the things we have.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of trying to balance, what do we do in this moment? How do we plan for the future? And how can we still encourage people to think of Downtown Lafayette as the center of culture and music and activity, even in this weird moment of the in-between that we feel like we're all in right now?
And it's so cool to see kind of the revitalization of downtown, and just kind of see that shift that's happened over the last couple of years, really. But then you still have those staple things that haven't changed. I mean, a lot of those businesses have been there for a long time. A lot of the events, and a lot of that stuff is it's very interesting to watch that just I love it. I'm a history buff, and when I was in high school, I did a history on Lafayette and just how that was the central hub of everything that happened here. And just so that's what y'all's organization really, really helps kind of educate the community on, I guess. Correct?
Absolutely. A big part of what we've been able to do since I've been here with my marketing and communications background, that's what I went to school for. It's what I started my career as. We had a lot of great things going on when I got here in October of 2018. We just weren't telling the world about it. And we weren't really utilizing all of our resources in a package to be able to say, downtown has something for everyone. You can spend a whole weekend here. If you're from Acadiana and you don't think of Downtown Lafayette first, we've got a number of restaurants that you can come to. We've grown our retail base. We've got 5 museums. One of the things that's been really interesting through the Sunday brunch event that we started in this spring, which is an outdoor brunch gathering on the 400 block of Jefferson Street, is we realized that, thousands of people were coming to church downtown, but they didn't even really understand what restaurants were open on Sundays. And so doing that Sunday brunch gave us an opportunity to say, yes, Spoonbill's open on Sundays, Dwyer's is open on Sundays, you have a La Carreta, you have a few staples, but we encouraged other businesses to try opening on Sundays, like Tsunami, for instance. Mm-hmm. And they could test, if we opened on Sundays and we told people about it, would people come? And the answer is yes.
I participated in the last Sunday brunch, and it really was super awesome just to see, because you don't see Jefferson Street very much as a walking space, except for at night when the clubs are open and everything. But on a Sunday, to have everything open, no cars are driving through, you have the restaurants basically set up in the street. It's such a cool atmosphere, and I think y'all utilized it super well, and getting more businesses to open up on Sunday. It's such a fun time, and I've really enjoyed it. We'll continue to go.
Yeah, that's something we're bringing back this fall. It's something that, is outdoors, and it doesn't bring a huge crowd, several hundred people, but not several thousand. So we are excited to launch that soon. You'll be hearing an announcement about those dates in the coming weeks.
Awesome. So, Anita, what do you do? Like, what does y'all's organization do on the day-to-day? Like, that's kind of one of the things that, you know about the events, and we kind of know some of that stuff, but what do y'all do just to help businesses in the community?
That's a great question. So let me talk a little bit about the other side of what we do, Downtown Development Authority, and then I'll try to give you a sense of what I do every day, which it's different every single day, but I'll try to kind of, encapsulate what's going on. So the Downtown Development Authority, DDA, is a governmental entity, and it's responsible for encouraging and promoting private development, but also working with Lafayette Consolidated Government to coordinate public development in the downtown district. So when you talked about that revitalization, Paul, we are really trying to work with public and private partners to encourage them to invest in downtown so that it can be revitalized. And then our nonprofit organization is bringing together businesses to advocate for investments in downtown and to do programmatic and event type things to drive people to come and visit the businesses we're trying to support. I hope that's helpful and kind of like sewing it all together.
Yeah, and I mean, real good friend of mine. He's actually going to be a guest on here with us in a couple of weeks. But he opened a business down there in the old Greenwood Shoes location. He's doing the Heat Academy. It's just that whole story to me is so interesting because I used to go as a kid to go get fitted for shoes. I remember that was the thing. Like Greenwood Shoes was the place to go. And now he's going to be, I believe he's actually opening up for the Art Walk.
That's right.
Which is
on Saturday.
This weekend, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. So Patrick Lowe from the Heat Academy is opening on the 400 block of Jefferson Street in the old Greenwood Shoes location. And my team had a chance to meet him a couple weeks ago. He's a really great guy, really smart guy.
Y'all been through the building. Have you seen all those shoes?
I was like, I need these shoes in my size. But it's kind of serendipitous that it's returning to a shoe store. One of the things that's been really interesting to watch, even, from my seat over the last really year and a half, even in the midst of COVID, is how much our retail base has grown downtown. I could run through a list of the number of retailers, if you guys are interested in hearing of every single one. But in 2020 alone, in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, we had 13 new retailers open. This Saturday, we're celebrating 2 more, Heat Academy and Attackapah Collective. And Attackapah Collective is going to be located in the Gordon Square building on the Vermilion Street side. So if you think about like looking out onto the parking garage, they are right there, in the Gordon Square building at the corner of Jefferson and Vermilion. So, we've seen a lot of people who are from the Lafayette area who have had dreams of owning retail shops, take risks and put themselves out there and open a location in downtown Lafayette. And the trick is that the more people that do that, the more viable we become as a shopping district and the more successful everybody's going to be. So we've seen that with our restaurant base, and now we're starting to see it with our retail base, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it's in fact, I've got the refinery is down there. I was that whole block right there is kind of my go-to. It's a Glockoretta, the refinery, and then now the Heat Academy's there.
Okay, got it.
You know where to find Paul.
Huh?
Said you know where to find you.
But no, I was bringing that up because I was basically, I went and got my haircut, then I walked and went to Glockoretta, then I walked on to go see Patrick at the Heat Academy, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and there's a lot of foot traffic. There's a lot of people that are just walking down the street, and all those shops are able to to reach out to them and have those customers. So it's interesting to see it, I guess, in the daytime, and I've never really never looked at it that way until I went to Patrick's store, and I was like, I'm looking out the window and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people down here. It's a lot of changes have happened. So.
And I love, Anita, how you're talking about focusing on how there's something for everyone.
Right.
Especially like kids that are going through college, downtown is always popping. They're going to go and do the nightlife. But during the day, like Paul said, just realizing how much there actually is going on is always so cool to think about. And when it comes to that event planning, kind of going back to the day-to-day for you, do you visit a lot of members a lot? Are you going to different businesses? Do you spend a lot of time in the office? I know you say like your day-to-day is always changing.
Yeah.
But what's like a great day for you, I guess?
So I am not in the office very often. I'm usually meeting with business owners and property owners, either talking about initiatives that we already have underway or hearing about their ideas or their concerns or plans that they have. I think I probably drink like 94 cups of coffee a week because everyone wants to grab coffee at one of our 4 awesome coffee shops downtown and, pitch an idea to me or check in with me about something or, bring us in on something they're working on or learn more about who we are and then they become a member. I just did that yesterday with a business. So a lot of meetings with people and really, I would say what we try to do is be a liaison for people. So like, what are you trying to accomplish? How can downtown be a part of it? And who do we need to connect you to get you to where you're trying to go? I really see myself and my team as dot connectors for people. So whether it be somebody having a challenge with infrastructure or somebody looking for a space downtown, or they're trying to start up an event and they're not really sure what to do, or they want to host something in one of the parks downtown, we're doing all that each and every day. We're even sometimes pairing people who have good ideas that sound similar to say, why don't you talk to each other? Because you might be able to accomplish this if you work together. So really, like at the end of the day, we're dot connectors.
You basically are just a problem solver. So if we need something downtown, we go to Anita.
Call Anita, guy.
What I do every day is solve problems, but sometimes that can sound negative. It's really fun for me to think through, I guess, the challenges, roadblocks, barriers people feel like they have because they just don't know enough about how to get over it without some assistance. And we're like, okay, hold on. We can help you figure this out. Just give us a minute. Let us make a few phone calls. This is who you need to talk to. And it's really rewarding because people will circle back to us and be like, wow, I feel so welcomed downtown. Like, I feel like you really want me to be successful. And I'm like, yes, we do. We want everybody to consider coming downtown, either as a business owner or a visitor or whatever it may be, and have a positive experience.
So how has with COVID and all of the shutdown happening even with Festival, Festival International, that's like the #1 event for downtown, right?
Right.
How has that, like, just from an economic impact, has that really affected a lot, or have y'all kind of seen a rebound from some of that?
I can't lie. It's been really hard. 2020 was really hard on a lot of people. It forced us to take a look at, what can we do with the resources we have, with the regulations that are in place. And, we missed our first Festival International and we're like,
in years.
What do we do now? And that's really where the chicken sandwich snack down, the competition between the restaurants downtown, who has the best chicken sandwich really came from, because we were in this weird moment where like some restaurants could be open with limited capacity. Some people, it wasn't even worth it to be open at all. Some people were only doing to-go orders. And we said, what can we do to try to help these restaurants and try to remind people that this is a place that you can get food from? And that you should be supporting local businesses during the hardest time they've probably ever gone through. And it was wildly successful. We generated almost $100,000 in new revenue for restaurants through that competition.
Wow.
That's awesome. But what's also cool about that is y'all were basically forced to innovate,
right?
Forced to come up with something, which actually leads me to the next thing, is that now has become something y'all are going to try to do something similar, right?
Yeah. So we did.
I'm very interested in this too. So I like food.
We did the chicken sandwiches in the summer last year. We did Burger Battle Royale in the fall, and starting this Sunday, we're kicking off the Taco Takedown. It's going to be awesome.
Ding, 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 ding.
Who doesn't like tacos? So we've got 16 downtown restaurants participating. I could run through the list.
Wow, there's that many restaurants downtown, huh?
There's more than 16.
I'll say it's
We don't
more
even
than
have
16.
everybody participating. We have more than 30 restaurants downtown, but 16 are participating. And basically through August 15th through September 18th, these restaurants who are participating will have a specialty taco on their menu. Come in, you ask for the tacos. You can try them at all the locations. We want people to post about it on their social media platforms that they're downtown eating these tacos, that they're delicious. We have judges who are going to be judging very strict criteria of tacos, and we'll have a judge's choice. We'll have a people's choice.
Hey, how do I get to be a judge in one of these competitions?
Well, we've already decided the judges, Paul, but we'll put you on the list for next
We're behind
time.
the ball.
But you can be your own personal judge and let us know how they all are.
So what's the time frame? It starts Sunday.
Yeah, August 15th through September 18th.
So almost a full month.
It's a little more than a month. We'll have a voting platform online, and you can find out all the information about this on our website, downtownlafayette.org, or you can check out our Facebook page specifically for the Taco Takedown. You'll be able to vote as people. So we'll have people's choice, we'll have judge's choice, and then we'll have bestseller.
So it sounds like to me, Sarah, if there are any business owners that want to go to lunch, my calendar can be full for the next 30 days.
That's
for
right.
Tacos, for
All
lunch.
tacos. And of course I'll have to go because I have to take notes. So
Absolutely.
we're just going
You'll
to
have
be
to
stuffed
post.
with tacos. Yes. of
Sarah,
course.
you're the marketing person. You'll have to post about it on social media so everyone knows that you've had tacos.
I'm not going to be in the office at all for the next month. Catch me downtown every day taking all the pictures of tacos.
Hey, the beauty of doing what we do, we can work from anywhere. So as long as they've got Wi-Fi and tacos, we can work.
There you go.
No, but it's neat to see those kind of events where you're kind of forced to innovate, and you're forced, and then it kind of turns into something all of this life of its own, into a new kind of a new tradition.
Sure.
And as you're able to do that and kind of keep the names of those businesses out there in the community, to kind of keep that traffic flow, even though you can't do the big events,
Right.
you're kind of doing some smaller events, it sounds like. So what is the Sunday brunch is something that's also happening? Is that in conjunction? Is that in addition, or how does that work?
So it's separate. I'll give you this hint. There will be one brunch in the time frame of the Taco Takedown.
All right.
So for those restaurants that are open, you'll be able to try their tacos. Maybe that could be like a really fun thing where friends and family come together to have brunch in the middle of the street on Jefferson Street, and they try tacos from a few different places. But Sunday brunch will be 3 events throughout the fall. Like I said, we'll be announcing those dates pretty soon. We did that this spring as a way to give people a chance to do something fun that was outside, but also to test shutting down Jefferson Street to car traffic, because we do want to encourage that to happen more often. People love the idea of being able to shut down the street to cars and for it to be pedestrian only. It gives a chance for a sense of community in the street, if you will. And people really enjoyed it. The beauty of it is we had restaurants, bars, and retail open for that brunch time. And people, bought stuff from a lot of different places. Our retailers were really successful when traditionally Sundays are kind of slow for them. And they got in front of a lot of new customers. We saw people come from all over Acadiana. We heard a lot of people say, I don't really spend any time downtown, but I saw this brunch thing and everybody likes brunch and I figured I'd come check it out. So it was really successful and we're excited to continue that moving forward. We're also thinking about what are other options for events on days that are slower downtown on different blocks of Jefferson Street where there's different kinds of concentrations of businesses. So that's something that we piloted. We want to continue, but we're thinking like, what else could we be doing shutting down the street on a different block and with whom, and what would the focus be? So
yeah, and I love that thought process. I mean, I feel like if 2020 did nothing else, it made people kind of evaluate and think about what's important. And sometimes you kind of just want to go back to the way things used to be, and that's kind of the vibe I get downtown. It's like, man, this is kind of old Main Street America, and seeing some of that stuff has been very cool. But we're getting 30 minutes almost already on this live, so I want to make sure we highlight some of this stuff too. Not only do y'all have all the events that you do
Right.
throughout the year, but y'all actually have some programs that y'all kind of highlight too. So kind of tell me some of the programs you have where you're helping small businesses.
Sure. So we have a few different programs. I'll quickly name them and then I'll give you some examples of what you can be looking for some recent recipients of our program awards. So we have a facade rehabilitation program. We've got a storefront awning program, a blade sign program. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And then a retail tenant improvement program. So some examples that you can see from that, some recent examples. New restaurant downtown Vestal, new restaurant downtown Luna Bar and Grill, and then Beau Soleil Books, which opened last year, in the middle of the pandemic. Independent bookstore with a wine bar next door. So cool.
One of my favorite places. I'm there often.
Those are all recipients of our facade rehabilitation. So upgrading the windows, the doors, the paint, putting new awnings on, new signage, etc., is part of that program. Really just trying to lift up facades, rehabilitate them historically where it makes sense, but make them more attractive from the street. We've also got a number of people who've recently received blade signs. So if you think about the 500 block at the corner of Congress and Jefferson Street, where Hub City Cycles and Sugar Wolf Outdoors and Designs by Robin are all located, those are some of our blade sign recipients. But also Adorn, which has been a downtown business for a long time, received a new blade sign. She had a more temporary type sign hanging from her awning, but we were able to partner with her and provide a beautiful pedestrian-oriented, that's what a blade sign is, sign. So as you're walking down the street, you can see what's coming up ahead of you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what a blade sign is. So Root Floral, another new business that opened in 2021, another retail business, was a recipient of both our blade sign grant and our retail tenant improvement grant. The difference with that retail tenant improvement grant is it's about helping them inside of the store. If you're a certain type of retailer that we're trying to attract downtown, or we don't have already a really robust base of, when you install permanent fixtures, or you're redoing floors, you're converting bathrooms to ADA compliance, because people who are opening new types of businesses have to conform to the code of today, right? Those types of things that can make or break whether someone can open a brick and mortar are things that are eligible with our retail tenant improvement program. So I know I talked a lot and said a lot of words, but you can check out our website, downtownlafayette.org, and find out more about those programs, when they're open and when they close, and if you're eligible for them. So I would also suggest you reach out to Rachel Holland. She works with me at DDA. She's our Director of Development and Planning. Her email is really simple. It's rachel@downtownlafayette.org. If you're a downtown business that wants to learn more about those programs, she's the guru. She can help walk you through it, get you access to the applications, and answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Hey, one last thing. Let's talk about membership. What does that look like? How can a business owner get involved? What is that going to do for their business? What does that look like for them as far as membership goes? Sure.
So we've got about 220 members, small businesses, large businesses, individuals, families, people who love downtown and our mission to help downtown be the heart of culture and music and activity and interest in Lafayette. It's kind of like a chamber of commerce for downtown Lafayette, but you don't have to be a downtown business to join. Our rates for individuals start at $75 a year. So for the price of a cup of coffee or a latte every month, you can be an individual member and get plugged into our programs that are just for members and special emails that we send out to give people sneak peeks of what's going to happen and what's going on. We also have different tiers of membership for businesses. And if you're just a family who really loves downtown, you can join as a family member. That's $125 a month. So what you're really signing up for is, I love and support downtown. DLU is doing a great job of bringing the downtown community together and promoting what's so special and unique about our downtown. And I want access to events. Some are free and some are paid. And I want to be in the know about what's happening with downtown Lafayette. But you don't have to be a member to be in the know. You can sign up for our emails on our website. Another perk of membership you're going to see two businesses take advantage of this weekend. We mentioned Heat Academy and Attack-A-Paw Collective. They're both doing ribbon cuttings. We're inviting our boards of directors, our DLU membership base, and the media to come out and learn about these businesses. and to join them for their celebration. So that's another part of what we do is welcome new businesses, but also help existing businesses celebrate milestones. We walk you through all of it. We provide the ribbon and the big scissors, and we invite the media and the community to celebrate.
That's great. I mean, that's really important to support each other and support local businesses, but also just the community as a whole. And that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons we joined was just Lafayette for us is vital. No pun intended to what we do, and definitely want to make sure we highlight some of those businesses that we partner with. Anita, thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and throw up your Instagram and your Facebook page. If y'all want to contact them there, you can comment on this video as well. We can connect you to the right people over there. But you're with Downtown Lafayette Unlimited. Contact Anita if y'all need anything. And if you're interested, if anybody that's in that organization or not interested in being on here just to talk about your business, we'd love to do that as well. So, Sarah, you got anything you wanted to say?
Make sure to follow Downtown Lafayette on Facebook and Instagram. Again, this weekend is Art Walk going on, and then Downtown Taco Takedown is going to start on Sunday. Like I said, I'm an avid lover of downtown.
That's going to be hard for me to figure out where to go.
We're going to be downtown quite a bit. So if you guys pass us, if you see us on the street, say hi to Anita. I know she loves to meet people. And thank you again for coming on today and talking with us. We've so enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about what we're up to.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.